Tonight on The Pulse, the Lady Statesman volleyball team got into the record books, but how did they do it? We'll tell you how.
And only one team stood in front of the Lady Statesmen in the Midwest Collegiate Conference preseason rankings, but could they handle the pressure this week? We'll tell you next on OSP.
Welcome to Oskaloosa Sports Pulse. I'm Jason Van Zeck.
And I'm Jason Madison. The regular football season is ending for William Penn, and every game is a must-win if the Statesmen want to make their first playoff appearance since joining the NAIA back in 2001.
Coming off its first loss of the season, a non-conference 28-19 upset to St. Francis, Indiana, the Statesmen try to get back on track as they're going to travel to Deerfield, Illinois over the weekend to take on league foe Trinity International. The NAIA's 11th ranked team avoided their first back-to-back loss of the season when Penn's offense netted 420 yards and the defense forced 4 turnovers, all interceptions in the 36-25 win. The O was led by junior quarterback Taylor Parsons' 4-touchdown performance. He eclipsed the 103-yard mark and 3 touchdown scores while airing it out to junior wideout Aaron Broyles for a 70-yard touchdown. The defense was led by junior DB Jacob Batterson with his 10 tackles, while sophomore defensive lineman Greg Beatty snagged 2 interceptions to go on with 8 tackles.
With a Penn win and a loss by another, the Statesmen crept their way back into the NAIA's top 10, courtesy of former number 6 Cara Montana dropping the ball. WPU 8-1 overall and 4-0 in the Midwest League moved up to the number 10 spot. The nation's top 5 remain the same, with Marion, Indiana still in the driver's spot at number 1. The Navy and Gold now have to win its last 2 games to secure a spot in the playoffs or remain in the top 13 ranked in the nation, according to head Statesman football coach Hafner. Number 11 St. Ambrose comes to Oskaloosa this Saturday to face WPU at 1 p.m. in the Lacey Complex. Across the Mississippi River in Rock Island, Illinois, the Lady Statesman volleyball team picked up a couple wins at the Augustana Pumpkin Bash tournament. However, it wasn't easy as WPU dropped its first 2 games Friday. William Penn was swept by Wartburg in 3 sets and then came up short against Principia 3-1. The following day, Penn bounced back when it swept Iowa Wesleyan and had a 3-2 win against Simpson. With that performance, Penn recorded its 27th victory, the 3rd most wins all time in program history dating back to 1985. William Penn then traveled to Cedar Rapids Wednesday to face MCC opponent Mount Mercy. How did the Navy and Gold hold up after a long week on the road? The visitors came out and devastated the Mustangs, sweeping Mount Mercy 3-0. Junior and middle hitter Jeanette Cunningham came up big for WPU, pacing both the offense and the defense. Cunningham recorded 14 kills and had 5 blocks. Following her offensive efforts were senior Katie Riley, freshman Kylie Geiger, and junior Alana Connors with 6 kills apiece. The win, coupled with a St. Ambrose 3-1 victory over Clark, allows the Lady Statesmen to draw the number 5 seed in the MCC tournament, traveling to Dubuque to face number 4 seed Clark at 7 p.m. The first and only meeting between these 2 teams was back on October 16th when the Crusaders beat the Navy and Gold 3-0.
On the high school front, last Thursday, Oskaloosa swept its way through its 4A regional qualifier matchup when it faced Indianola. That win advanced the Indians to Tuesday's regional final against Solon at HLV, a neutral site in Victor. There, the 15th ranked OHS squad fell short of making the state tournament under first-year head coach Jennifer Comfort. The Indians pushed the match to 4 sets before succumbing to number 6 Solon's assault. Kate Hasselman led the team with 10 kills from the service line, and Taylor Crawford was 17 for 17 with 1 ace. Allie Christensen led the offense with 24 assists, while on defense, Kenna Velteheisen had 14 digs. Oskaloosa ends the year with a record of 19-17 and are Little Hawkeye Conference champions. The squad looks forward to next fall without 9 seniors, 6 of which were in the starting rotation.
A new coach, a new season, and a new feeling of confidence radiates from the Statesman soccer team. In the first round of the MCC tournament, Penn faced a tough St. Ambrose team, which WPU defeated earlier on in the season. But could the young team find a way to win again? Well, it would take regulation and 2 overtimes to figure out that conclusion. With that game knotted up at 1-1, it all came down to penalty kicks. The Fighting Bees kicked first and scored before Penn's Victor Cruz answered right back. St. Ambrose then made their second and third attempts to take a 3-1 advantage, but senior Jeff Kelly wasn't fazed as he kept his team in the game with his penalty kick. After 5 rounds of penalty kicks, Penn netted 4 to SAU's 3. William Penn advances to face number 2 seed Mount Mercy in Cedar Rapids in Sunday's semifinals. It's the first time the program has made it to the semis since 2006. The Mustangs won the regular season match 2-0 in Oskaloosa on September 22nd. After the first round win, first-year head men's coach Greg Jarosik told me his team has to hone in on not beating themselves like they did in the first clash when the Mustangs won earlier this season.
In the second half, we gave up 2 goals in a 4-minute period. On the 59th and the 63rd minute, we made 2 mistakes, and that was the difference in the game. And that's been something that we've had to deal with a couple of times with a young team and a new team, is making sure we don't make those mistakes. And that's now in tournament play, that'll end our season. So we need to be focused and make sure we're ready to go for 90 minutes.
On the women's side, WPU closed out the season after falling to number 2 seed Grandview in the quarterfinals of the MCC soccer tournament. The 7th-seeded Lady Statesmen were blanked 6-0 by the Vikings and closed out the year with a record of 3-16. The loss ends the collegiate careers of 5 seniors. When we return, the Lady Statesman Ballers are ranked 2nd in the Midwest Collegiate Conference, but could they live up to the hype as they face Waldorf at home Tuesday? We'll tell you next after the break.
If you buy the renegade idea that investing should be discussed face-to-face, not just inbox to inbox.
If you believe that your relationship with your investments shouldn't be long distance.
Join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and ThinkTime make a difference.
Join us.
At Edward Jones, it's how we make sense of investing.
Visit one of your friendly Oskaloosa reps today.
Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen.
I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. The biggest stars, the classic hits, KIIC.
Go to Mahaska in Oskaloosa for all things black and gold and cardinal and gold. It's one of the largest collections of sports gear for both teams anywhere in the state. Mahaska Drug has it all, including the Tyler Sash Foundation collection of Get Better, Not Bitter shirts and wristbands. So who's your favorite team?
Hawkeyes! Cyclones! Hawkeyes! Cyclones!
Let everyone know with Hawkeye and Cyclone merchandise from Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa. It's big, really big.
You should see my bank. It can do awesome things. Mom says it's just like the 4 seasons. Always there. Helping communities grow and be a better place to live and work. All because my bank lives here too.
Live Iowa, work Iowa, bank Iowa. Member FDIC.
Bates Funeral Chapel, where community is more than just a location. Where compassion is more than just a feeling. Where history is more than just a time. Bates Funeral Chapel, where service is more than just a word.
The doctor is in and no appointments are needed. Come to Dr. Salami's today and let the doc heal your hunger. Come to Dr. Salami's for friendly staff, casual atmosphere, and good friends. When you get here, you'll be treated to affordable prices, hearty portions, and good food. So come on down to Dr. Salami's today, your place for good friends, good food, good times.
As temperatures drop outdoors, things begin to heat up inside on the hardwood. Expectations are high for the Lady Statesman basketball team. It's picked to finish second in the Midwest Collegiate Conference behind last year's regular season tournament champion Grandview. Coming off 12-19 season with a 9-9 conference record, this is Penn's highest preseason ranking since joining the conference back in 2001. To see if the Navy and Gold could back up the initial hype, we're checking in with our man J-Mad when non-conference pro Waldorf visit the Penn Zone on Tuesday.
The basketball season has arrived, and so have the Lady Statesmen. In the first half, both teams looked rusty from the field, with Penn connecting only on 33% of its shots compared to Waldorf's 28%. However, that would change as the Navy and Gold started the second half with a 9-point lead. With a little over 17 minutes to go in the game, the onslaught ramped up. Senior guard Sarah Martin finds a wide-open Katie Golumski in the corner, and the sophomore does a quick sidestep and drains her second three of the night. She would go on to be 4 of 6 from long range, and Penn is up 38-24. 4 minutes later, junior guard Brittany May dishes the ball off to senior forward Oriel Thomas, and she does the rest with this finger roll off glass. Then the next play, Thomas shows she has some range when she notices the mismatch and knocks down this J. Penn is on top 49-32 at this point. With 12 minutes to go, Penn gets the defensive rebound and is off to the races as Martin bounce passes through 2 Warrior defenders to Vanessa Kearse to get the hoop in the harm. Kearse would go on to knock down the free throw to send the Lady Statesmen up 57-34. Following that Waldorf foul, Penn almost loses the ball at midcourt, but Martin was there to scoop up the loose ball, drive, and draw another foul on the layup. Now here, the home team makes it look easy as junior forward Michaela Beck comes off the bench, catches the pass from Golumski, and squeezes her way through 3 Warriors and gets the bank shot to go. Through the cheers of the crowd, WPU widens the gap 70-45. Afterwards, when the Warriors are a bit dazed and confused, they made a huge no-no. Don't leave Golumski open. She hits this tray from about 2 feet behind the men's three-point line, and Penn would roll on to win 80-61. In the second half, Penn turned it up a notch from the field, netting 56% of its shots to that of the Warriors' 50%. Waldorf out-rebounded the Lady Statesmen 42-39, but the Navy and Gold made up for it by forcing 17 turnovers. The win was a confidence booster for the women's program and its new head coach Mike Brown, who took over for Brian Spielbauer. Spielbauer left the program after 9 years when he took over the athletic director position at Presentation College in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Brown commended his inherited team's performance and says there's more to come as this season carries on.
We've got enough offensive talent on our team. If we just share the ball and trust the pass a little bit more, those shots will end up dropping. And I think Kate too started looking for a shot a little bit more, and we were able to get out and run a little bit more and find her in transition. Kind of the easy looks are in transition. So, and that's spearheaded a lot by Sarah Martin and Oriel Thomas. They do such a good job. They're so athletic. They get the ball and they take off running. If you're a shooter, you're going to get the benefit of running the floor and spacing out, and that's kind of what we were able to do tonight.
The schedule gets tougher, starting this weekend when the Lady Statesmen head to Nebraska for the Concordia Cattle Classic. There, Penn will face several teams ranked in the top 25, including number 1 Concordia, number 5 Morningside, number 8 Briarcliff, and number 9 Grandview, to name a few. I'm Jason Madison.
And the Lady Statesmen get a taste of Division I action on Tuesday when they travel to Hilton Coliseum in Ames to face Iowa State, coached by Penn alum Bill Fenley.
On the men's side, for the first time in 4 years, the Statesmen head into the basketball season as the top dogs in the MCC. William Penn, this year's NAIA preseason 19th ranked team nationally, was 17-15 last year with a 12-6 conference record. Penn also advanced to the NAIA's Division II National Championships, returns almost its entire roster from a year ago, including all MCC guards Junior Blake Walker and Senior Taylor Stoutner. William Penn opens up its season next Friday, traveling to Sioux City to face Morningside in non-conference action at 7:30 p.m.
As the basketball season ramps up, the bowling season is already rolling. In Peoria, Illinois, at the Kegel ISBPA Collegiate Classic, the Lady Statesmen bowling team qualified after placing 3rd with 7,254 pins in 6 regular games and 10 Baker games. The squad then finished 8th overall in the 2-game knockout round. Only the top 4 advanced. In the second round, Robert Morris, Illinois, won the 4-team final to claim the title. Graduate student Breanne Underwood topped William Penn with a 10th place finish out of 130 competitors with a 189.8 average. Senior Samantha Powell wasn't far behind her in 13th with a 187.2 average. On the men's side, William Penn placed 6th in both qualifying knockout rounds, but only the top 4 advanced to the final. Again, Robert Morris, Illinois, was the top program from start to finish in the 28-team event. Junior Cameron Foster highlighted William Penn by placing 9th out of 193 rollers with a 203 average. Both the men and the women are off this weekend, returning to action November 10th at the ISYL Leatherneck Classic in Davenport, Iowa and Milan, Illinois.
With the loss of 2011-2012 NAI national champion junior Eric Berge at 149 pounds, Penn has a tough road ahead of it. Berge transferred to NCAA Division II Notre Dame College in Cleveland, Ohio to further his collegiate career. However, the Statesmen still have some firepower up its sleeve. Sophomore Kerry Cloud at 149 pounds is the program's lone returning All-American after his 8th place showing at last year's national championships. Fellow national qualifier freshman Ishmael Remsen and sophomore Kyle Soderblom have high expectations this season. Remsen is ranked 13th nationally at 157 pounds, while Soderblom is 14th at 184 pounds. The team hits the mat for the first time this weekend when the Grapplers travel to Mason City, Iowa for the K. Young Nyack Open.
Before we get into this week's 40 Fly Flat, I always want to remind everyone that this section of the show is my opinions and absolutely does not reflect the staff or the companies behind OSP. So now let's get down to the brass tacks. The Giants won the World Series in a sweep over Detroit. So now what? Riot. Let's flip cars and light fires. When I first saw the story and glanced over, I thought, wow, Detroit, you have enough problems. I understand being angry and frustrated. You just got swept after spending $44 million on big players, but rioting isn't going to help anything. But then I noticed it wasn't Detroit, it was San Francisco. Why are Giants fans rioting? You have 300+ days of sunshine, medical marijuana, and you just won the World Series. Sun poisoning? But to be fair, it's not just limited to San Francisco. It seems to be a problem everywhere. And I want to put all joking aside for the moment, because when does it become standard protocol for cities now to put riot teams on call, win or lose? Let's look at the NCAA tournament of this year. When Kansas took on Kentucky, both teams took to rioting. If you were at KU, you went to the corner of 14th and Kentucky, and if you were at UK, you just joined the crowd of 15,000 people on campus to be a part of the 40 fires. Included mattresses, couches, garbage, and of course the illustrious car. And I certainly don't want to forget Vancouver downtown riot after Game 7 of the 2011 NHL Stanley Cup Finals. So this phenomenon doesn't seem to be limited to a sport, a country, or even winning and losing. To me, it just makes you look stupid and takes away from the title that your team earned. So when did this turn into the cool thing to do after winning or losing? Quite frankly, it makes me not want to buy a ticket to a championship or a final if I have to worry about the stadium turning into a war zone. The bottom line is it's just not acceptable to riot, and I'm quite frankly tired of it. Ultimately, it's up to you and I to stand up in those groups and to stop the situation before it starts spinning out of control. Don't go grab the couch. Put the lighter back in your pocket. Get off the car and stop acting like an idiot. Because let's be honest, if things keep going this way, nobody's going to want to be near Chicago if the Cubs ever win the World Series.
That's it for this week's show. Be sure to catch replays of OSP Fridays at 10 p.m., Saturdays at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 10 p.m., as well as Sundays at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10 p.m. here on MCG Channel 7. And make sure you watch us and the rest of CRI's programming online at www.critv.org.
Now, J-Matt, I know you're a 49ers fan. What do you think about the rioting out there if they win?
I mean, I wouldn't mess up the city, but now it makes me kind of curious what happens if the Niners end up winning and you had the San Francisco incident, with the Giants earlier. Things might just get a little crazy.
For my man, Jay Madison, I'm Jason Van Zetten. We'll be back next Friday at 5 p.m. with a brand new episode of OSP.